All right, today we are talking to Rico Rowan, founder of Skid Row. Let's go right from the beginning. What first drew your interest in music?
I'm the fourth out of four kids. There was always music around my house, and it just, kind of sucked me in. I was listening to everything from the Beatles to Sex Pistols to James Taylor. All my siblings listened to different stuff, so I got turned on at a very early age.
Okay. Now, the first Skid Row album, Skid Row, went multi-platinum. Mm-hmm. While you were making that album, was there something going on during that time that made you guys say what made you say, you know what, we got something special going on here?
I mean, because we were in the middle of it, we didn't realize what was going to happen. I know what we hoped would happen, and that's ultimately what did, but you never know. You just have your dreams and your hopes, and we hit on something really good, so we were lucky enough to have it be as successful as it was.
Right. Okay. When writing songs, because you're the songwriter, what usually comes first? Does the tune come first? Does the lyrics come first? How do they all fit together?
I'd say about 70% of the time someone has a riff and we work around that, but there's been times where I've written lyrics and we just kind of put music around the lyrics, or just little bits and pieces, and we end up putting it together like a puzzle. Snake and I will get in a room and he's like, hey man, I have an idea for the lyrics you had, or we'll do the same back and forth and just trade licks off each other and see what comes up. But we have no real set pattern of writing.
Okay. You're also a record producer. So what kind of elements do you look for in a band that you want to help? That makes you want to help create their first new work?
I just need to really like the band and their music myself, because if I weren't to be into it, whether good, bad, or indifferent, it's not going to help the band. So if someone gives me something that I could really bite down onto and really gravitate towards, those are the ones that I seem to feel most comfortable with, whether it's rock or pop or whatever. But I just kind of have to be into it myself, because like I said, it's not going to do anybody any favors if you're just doing it to get paid,
Right. Okay, I have a very different kind of Bach question I don't think you've ever been asked before.
Okay.
You ready? What are your thoughts on Johann Sebastian Bach, the old German composer? And do you even like classical music?
I don't listen to a lot of classical music, but it's when I do, I don't know who the composers are half the time, but I really get into the workings of it, you know what I mean? And I appreciate how intense that must have been, just writing that stuff.
Right. I think that one will be different than you might get sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you say, how would you describe how the music landscape has changed since Skid Row first formed? And would they still be able to make it to have the same success today if you first try to come form today?
That's a good question. It's funny because Snake and I have had this conversation more than once. It's saying we're lucky we got our success when we did, because who knows? It has changed so much. I mean, there was no internet back then, and things weren't as instantaneous as they are now. Would we be successful? I don't know. We didn't know we were going to be successful the first time, so who knows? Right. I mean, I think if you have enough drive, ambition, and the passion, you're going to be successful. You have to live, eat, breathe, and sleep what you're doing, and believe in it yourself before anyone else is going to believe in it.
Any other kind of genre of music you haven't really, dabbled in, but you'd like to?
I've written some country stuff with people. I've written pop stuff with people. Worked with a lot of different bands. I haven't done anything on a funk or blues side of stuff. Either one of those genres. I think blues. I'd really love to get into producing a blues album or working with a blues band would be really cool.
Right. Are you at a point now where you can just always pick up the bass and play, or do you still need to do practicing once in a while to get the stage sharp?
I don't really practice, but I give myself homework assignments. Like my most recent one was Want You Back by the Jackson 5, because that bass line is just sick. And I'm like, I want to learn this bass line, and you know, because you're always going to take something away when you learn a song. So that's all I do, but I never really sit down and practice. I don't have to practice Skid Row songs, at least not the ones that rehearse. If I don't know them by now, they should fire me.
And finally, what do you love most about performing live?
Just the look on people's faces, and when the crowd's into it, it makes you feel good because you know they're there to see you, but what you're doing is making them enjoy themselves, and what you did and what you created is bringing a good time and putting smiles on people's faces, make them, just let loose for an hour and a half, and that's the most gratifying part of the whole thing.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thanks a lot.
Yeah, dude.
Good interview.
That's good questions.
Thank you.
I like the Johann Bach. That was good.